Hey, what is up guys? Rampage coming at you with another Conan Exiles video. Today I'm going to be showing you guys axes and explaining all the axes, what your best options are, and so on. So today we're going to make this very short and simple. Like the rest of the videos I'm going to be doing like this of each of the weapons in the game. I'm going to keep it very short and simple just so people understand and get straight to the point. So today we're going to be going over each of the axes. So what we're going to do first is Yogg's Touch. I just kind of categorized them from top to bottom, what I thought the best axes were, and so on. I'll explain where to get them, what the stats are, so on and so forth. Starting with the Yogg's Touch, of course, best axe in the game right now. That is 54 health damage and 40 armor pen with corrupted, so it's actually going to give people corruption as you hit them. This weapon flat out is just OP. As you can see, it's got a little more weight, but I mean, other axes pretty much have kind of the same situation going on weight wise. If you look at the weight of it, we got 4.03 stat wise, 54 health damage, 40 armor pen. With an accuracy spec, that'll put it up to 70 armor pen. OP, very OP. If you got enough strength, you should be doing around 90 to 100 damage. So 90 to 100 damage with 70 pen, busted. Definitely the strongest thing in the game right now. Nothing compares. Damage wise, you could 2 to 3 shot people. It's ridiculous. So moving on from that, and here just to show, so 54 and 40, we put a master kit on that. Now you're looking at 59 and 52. Again, very OP. Again, we're going to bring the pen up even higher with an accuracy spec, looking at about 82 pen, and as I had said before, about 90 to 100 damage based on your strength. And then we're going to move on to the Ancient Lemurian Axe. This is probably the best second right now, looking at 51 and 13. Nice thing about this one, so Yogg's you get in the Warmaker dungeon. Ancient Lemurian, though, you're going to get that in the Sunken City or SP. It's a craftable axe. Very effective to use in PvP because, again, craftable. If you lose it, you can go ahead and make another one. If we put the master kit on that, we're now looking at 56 and 25. So it makes it a pretty close second for the Yogg's. You get the accuracy spec, you're looking at about 55 pen. That's decent, you know. So if you don't have a Yogg's, as long as the guy using the Yogg's is an accuracy spec, you're actually going to be doing more pen than he is. So you could actually toss in a fight, in a trade that way. So then we're going to look at the next that I find is next best in this category, and that is the Axe of the Gate Guardian. Now this one here is going to give you a +5 in accuracy, makes it much easier to hit that tier 4 accuracy perk. We're going to put a master kit on it, bringing it to 62 and 12. Now that is higher damage, but I find pen makes the biggest difference in this game right now. But as a higher damage stat with a little less pen, this makes a very good toss-up from the Ancient Lemurian. Little less pen, but you're getting accuracy easier. So you'll actually, if you're buffed, that'll be really effective. Then we're moving down the list. Act of Violence used to have a critical strike that caused people to die instantly. It doesn't happen anymore. But at 57 and 0 pen, not bad for damage. We're going to put a kit on that. Now 62 and 12. So if you're honestly going to use between an Act of Violence, or an Axe of the Gate Guardian, or an Axe of the Lion, which is 54 and 0, bringing it to 59 and 12. See, so a little less damage. Now this one here gives you +5 strength. Honestly, I wouldn't even use the Act of Violence, but the stats for damage wise, as long as you have the perks you're needing for your build, it's a great axe. Really easy to farm too off the birds. This one here is found off the birds, like the demon birds there up north. Hag ravens is what they'd be called in mythology and stuff. Axe of the Gate Guardian, +5 accuracy. This one here is found at the Warmaker dungeon. Axe of the Lion, +5 strength. This one is found out of any random world box. Festering one, world box again. Actually, I think this one, yeah, no, this is an unnamed city drop, this one here. It even says it on the info. This one you just find off a random world boss in the unnamed city, so you could farm all those bosses. Strangely familiar axe. Now this one is nice though, sorry. So back to the festering one. This one adds poison damage per hit, and it's infinite poison. You used to be able to coat it with another poison, which would remove the poisoning forever. They've fixed that since then. So this is a great axe for farming, PvP, you name it. If people don't have set antidotes, they will lose the fight against the festering one. So then we're going to move on to the strangely familiar. This one here gives you a +5 in grit. Grit's not really a thing anymore in Conan, since some of the recent updates have kind of busted the necessity to have grit anymore. The roll isn't the way it used to be, and you can only roll so many times. Doesn't matter how much grit you have, you're still only going to get so many rolls. So grit builds really aren't a thing anymore, but if you want to get that tier 3 grit, Strangely Familiar Axe is a good one to get that extra, defense you get from that. Then we're going to move on to the Foe Shatter. Basically same stats as the Strangely Familiar, only difference is no bonus. This one used to give you Frigid Bite, no longer a thing at the moment. I hope they bring that back, but that used to be a really good axe. Craftable again, so I mean it's kind of a viable axe to use. Then we're going to look at the Battle Axe of the Berserkers. This one here is a random world drop out of a chest. Gives you bonus health, not a huge health difference, so honestly, it honestly just gives you a little more health stat, like 25 points to 40 points. That's not really going to save you. Corrupted Axe, no point in master kitting, obviously the stats are going to be same as before, 59 and 12, right? Corrupted Axe is kind of like a Yogg's without the extra pen. Good way to disguise if you have a Yogg's or not, but this one only does 54 and 0, gives you corruption. Not the player that's using it, but the player you hit will get corruption from it. Dragon Bone War Axe. This is an amazing axe. Completely craftable. The weight is very heavy. 8 pounds is a lot for a weapon, but good for raid builds. 54 damage. Again, we kit that, it'll go to 59 and 12. Then we got this thing, the Deathbringer Axe. Now, this weapon here, I'm just going to hit the info just so you guys can see this. It's not an actual drop or craftable in the game. It was supposed to be craftable using the Hearts of the Kinscourge. They never actually put the recipe in the game, I don't know why. But to obtain one of these, you actually just have to spawn in the Silent Legion Warrior 4. It'll just be called Legion Warrior 4 or something like that in the admin panel. And if you break the bond, you actually get a Deathbringer Axe, which you can pick up, you can wield. The stats are very generic, nothing busted about it, low durability. So it's a viable axe. So if you're running a private server, Deathbringer Axes, great gift to hook people up with in tournaments. So then we're going to move down again, going on to the Flawless Serpent Man. Now, stats suck. Honestly, the stats really suck. Not a great axe. It's a good substitute, but not a great axe. Honestly, I would take a Ghast Axe over one of those, just because it applies corruption to your enemies. So this one here, Ghast Axe, random loot drop from the Unnamed City. Kind of one of the worst, but it just looks really cool, more of a fashion statement. Spectral Axe. Now these ones are really cool because they have no durability, not great damage whatsoever, but the bonus is there's no durability. So for a farming weapon, just going out shooting the shit, trying to kill things for hide, these are amazing. Your farmers won't have to worry about repairing their gear no matter how many swings they have to take, right? So to get one of these, you have to get the Witch Doctor feat in the summoning place, and then what you do is when you spawn in one of these, if you happen to breed one in the cauldron, they actually have to die, and when they die, you happen to get the axe, and it's got no durability, so you can honestly swing it for days. I'll just chop at the ground here just to show. And it hasn't taken anything. So that's a great axe. For farming builds, I used to run one of these continuously just because of the fact that I hate having to repair my weapons when I'm fighting nothing, that doesn't matter. So anyways, yeah, so I can actually just drop that. So these are all the top tier axes in the game, PvP wise, PvE wise, pretty much just all around. Again, we're going to go over the list. We got the Yogg's Touch at number 1, we got an Ancient Lemurian at number 2, we got an Axe of the Gate Guardian at number 3. Active Violence, honestly, for the small amount of stat difference, I think it would be safe to say that we could move that one down to about here. So it's going to go Yogg's, Ancient Lemurian, Axe of the Gate Guardian, Axe of the Lion, Festering One. Now these could docile, because Festering One could be very viable in many ways. Strangely Familiar, Active Violence, Foe Shatter, Battle Axe the Berserkers, Corrupted Axe, Dragonbone War Axe, Deathbringer Axe. Again, this is only obtainable through admin panel, this one here, so, you know, if you've got a private server you're in, mention it to your admins. Serpentman War Axe, Ghast Axe, and Spectral Axe. Now, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. When it comes to fighting styles, you guys know how axes work. There's no differentiation in any of their fighting styles. They're all exactly the same, so I don't really need to demonstrate. You can see the stats for yourself. What I could say, if you're on a server that is boosted right now, like a server that's got ridiculous durability rates and stuff like that, where the oils last longer, I would honestly take a Yogg's Touch with an Oil of Penetration. That'll get it even more pen than the Master Kit will, or an Oil of Agony. Either or. Oils are just busted, but and if you're not using them on a Blade of the Seven Winds, there's really no point. But I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Stay tuned for the next video. I'll be doing more videos on some more of the gear in the game, potions, etc., buffs, you name it. Armors too, I'll go over all the armors, what would be your best viable options for craftable wise and so on. But yeah, stay tuned for the next video. Until next time, have a good day.